Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been messing around with my son's Mini doing the fiberglass bonnet. It was really flimsy. Obviously, it's extremely light compared to a metal one, but it was quite kind of flimsy and bouncing around, and wasn't really happy with it. So, also we've taken the front lip off to make it like the earlier Mark One Mini with the moustache. So we cut that off, and it lost a lot of its structure at the front. So what we've done is, if I can just lift the bonnet off a minute. So what we've done at the back is done a return fiberglass lip on there to put some structure back in. I've also put these strengthener sort of ridges in here as well, which has helped them an incredible amount because the front of the bonnet was really flexing out. So now that's really holding the shape. It's really strengthened it up. And the reason for a big dent just there is to miss the top hose. So that was just touching. So I've ground that out and put a bit more fiberglass in there, and now that's missing. So it's also drilled out the obligatory holes at the front to let some more air in, more of a racy look. Yeah, so that's just about ready for paint. It needs just a touch more filler in it, not much more, and that'll be ready. Doors are now ready for paint, all filled and sanded back. Boots all sanded back, ready for paint, and all the arches as well. So yeah, the arches, they've had one coat or a couple of coats of sealer, epoxy sealer on them, but they were all cracked. So what we've done is we've reinforced all the backs here where the cracks were, and then just filled those areas. After we sprayed the epoxy, we filled them. So yeah, so they're all ready. We can give them another epoxy coat. I haven't decided yet whether I might just epoxy coat them and just literally top coat straight over the top of the epoxy, because it's a wet on wet epoxy we've got, or the doors. The doors of bonnet and boot will be sprayed with a high build primer, straight epoxy sealed high build primer. Yeah, sand that down to a good finish with probably some 400. It'll be 180 first, and then down to 400, and then that'll be top coated. Yeah, two or three coats of top coat, and then a lacquer. That'll be all the panels sprayed done. I think that's everything, just about everything painted. It might be the odd bracket to do, but hey, nearly there. Okay, so I've just sprayed the arches. So they've had about 3 coats of top coat. Epoxy sealed them first, left it for an hour, and then just put 3 coats of top coat on there. Not come out too bad. So at this stage, what I could do if I want to get an even higher shine on there, well, you could actually just colour sand them and polish them up, or to give the paint a better life, what you can do is key it up 600 grade, and then blow a load of lacquer over the top, and then it'll come up really glossy. And then you can just again flat that off and polish that too. But they're only wheel arches, so they'll probably go straight on as they are. Hi guys, had a bit of a disaster yesterday. My son mixed up some epoxy sealer, so we basically got all the doors prepped, all sanded down with a guy coat, all ready for sealing them up and top coat. Yeah, he sprayed the first lot out there out the gun, emptied the gun, and I went to mix up some more paint, and then realised that he'd used the wrong hardener. So he'd used a normal 2-pack hardener for a top coat instead of the epoxy hardener in the paint. Had a bit of a strange sort of almost stringy reaction. The first door actually, it looked like it sprayed up all right, and to touch it actually feels quite dry. But hey, you can't. It's got to come off. So we're now thinking, oh my god, what a big job! You know, we've got to sand all the doors back down again, and being epoxy, we're going to have to go up a couple of grades and almost start again. But what I tried, I just come outside because we did the boot as well. Is smearing some epoxy thinners. I'll put it onto a rag, and then it literally broke the paint down and just comes straight off. So I've done this boot in about half an hour, all wiped down, ready. So it's not such a disaster after all. So it hasn't affected the background paint at all. It's just taken the like epoxy sealer off because the hardener hasn't reacted or catalyzed the paint properly. It means that it's not a proper set, and it's actually wouldn't be very hard wearing at all. And I suspect if you were to top coat over the top, it would probably have a huge reaction. It would probably all go quite horrible and probably loads of fry ups. Yeah, so luckily I found that out before we started blowing top coat over the top of the doors. So as you can see, my son's been putting all the interior back into the car, all the gauges. We've sprayed the bonnet. So that's the bonnet all done. Boots up there. The boot's done, and we've also done both the doors, so they're just stood up there at the moment, so they're going to go in shortly. I say shortly when my son comes back to do some more work on the Mini, then he'll pop the doors back on. But it's starting to take shape a bit now. Okay, so anyway, wound it over, and we've got good oil pressure now. Just on turning over without any spark plugs in, we got it up to nearly 50. So that's pretty good. With it running, it should run even higher than that. So they say you don't need high oil pressure, you just need constant. But hey, it's always nice to have a bit of pressure there. But so anyway, I'm going to attempt to start. So I've now connected all the plugs up. We've got fuel up on the carburetor. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be good to go. As you can see, it still hasn't started, but she's trying to go. It's firing, so that's a good start. I'll do a few more, bit more fiddling around. I've adjusted its timing statically to about 3 degrees, so what I might do is advance that just a little bit, maybe bring it around to about 6, and then see if she'll go then. Okay, as you can see, I've got it started. Yeah, it's a bugger to start, and it's not running too well. I'm gonna have another go at setting this static timing on it. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of carburetor, the fueling, and the actual timing as well. I'm sure I can a little bit more messing around with that, and hopefully I can get it to running quite well. But yeah, it should run. It sounds when it actually starts, it's quite responsive on the throttle. So yeah, it should be good. Yeah. Oh well, there we go. Yippee! We've got a runner. That's really cool. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers for now.